Hello everyone, this is part 1 of Git and GitHub tutorial. In this series we're gonna talk all about Git, why do we use Git, why do we use GitHub, and what are the different options for GitHub as a source code management. In part 1 of this series we're gonna talk about difference between Git and GitHub. Git is a distributed version control system that tracks changes in any set of computer files, usually used for coordinating work among programmers who are collaboratively developing source code during software development. And the GitHub is a web-based version control and collaboration platform for software developers. Microsoft acquired GitHub for $7.5 billion in 2018. So the main difference is that Git is version development system and it works under the hood for different platforms like GitHub, Azure DevOps, Bitbucket, etc. And GitHub is one of many platforms. It's a web-based application. In previous video I showed you how to download Git and check if you have it on your computer already installed. Also, in this video we're gonna talk about private repository, public repository and readme file. So let's start with the demo. Okay, let's first explain what the Git is. Imagine if we have multiple developers working on the same application. Let's say we have 3 developers. Developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, and we want for them to develop some web application together. So let's imagine that they all work in the same office. For them to collaborate on same project, when developer 1 makes some changes, developer 2 would have to go to developer 1, copy all changes he made, then put that on his hard drive and insert in his computer, then start working on that code. So then when developer 3 wants to start working on that code, he would need to go again to developer 2, take all that changes that he made and then copy all that on his machine, that start working on the application, and only after that he would be able to publish the new version of application. As you can see, this is not a good practice because they pretty much cannot work at the same time and they are depend on the work the previous developer did. Another issue with this approach is what if they're not in the same office? So let's imagine developer 1 is working from London, developer 2 is working from Peking, and developer 3 is working from New York. In that case, that would be pretty much impossible for them to locally share the progress they made with the application, and it would be impossible for them to maintain the actual version of the application and to know who did what. In that case, we would use GitHub platform, so everyone can track the version of the application and what changes did everyone make. So then we would do something like this. Dev 1 would do his work, and when it's done he would push his branch to the GitHub. Developer 2 separately could work on the same project and he could create a new branch and also put that code to the GitHub. And the third developer could work in parallel with all developers in that team and could also make separately branch and separately code change. And when everything is done, we can create a version of the application that will merge all the changes that these 3 developers made, and we will test that, and only that we will put that application in use. So let's see how to use Git and how to use GitHub. Go on the Google and type GitHub. We will need to create account first. Go on to github.com. We will choose sign up option. We put our email. We would use some strong password. We don't need to receive occasional product updates. Okay, let's verify our account. Okay, let's take something like this. Okay, let's create our GitHub account. Now the code will be sent to the email you provided. Select just me, none of the above. You can skip this personalization for now. Okay, when you successfully create your GitHub account, it will look something like this. To start, as I already said, I will explain what is the difference between public and private repository. Private repository you can use when you work on some project for school, college, or work, and public repository you can use when you want to share your code with everyone else, and it's commonly used for open source project when you can actually download code for some application, make some changes, and create pull request, so the owner of repo can go through your pull request, see all the changes, and approve or deny your pull request. Okay, let's make public repository. We will make git introduction repo. We will make it public and we will create a new repository. Okay, now we created our first repo. In the next video we're gonna talk about how you can connect this repo to your local document, and we will go through each one of these commands and explain what they actually do. In this repo we get to choose, do we want our readme file. Readme file are usually used for some description that other developers need. If you don't have any special nodes, we could just skip creating readme file. In this video we talked about what is the difference between Git and GitHub. As we saw in this video, GitHub is nothing but web-based version control and its collaboration platform, and Git is a distributed version control system, and pretty much every platform like GitHub, Azure DevOps, Bitbucket use Git under the hood. We also talk about private public repository and readme file. That would be pretty much everything for this video. I hope you learned something new. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.